Okay, so who manifested this? If you're the one who manifested this, please come out because this is fantastic. I didn't expect to begin this video with the breaking news, and breaking news that is, because Big Hit Music dropped this announcement on October 2nd, 2025 at 2 p.m. about 30 minutes ago, titled, Notice, RUNSEOKJIN EP Tour Encore Announcement. Man, what? Check this out. Concert information. RUNSEOKJIN EP Tour Encore happening at 7 p.m. Friday, October 31st and 6:30 p.m. Saturday, November 1st, 2025. Where Incheon Munhak Main Stadium. Wow, so they did manage to get a venue for this despite the very super tight schedule. I'm super surprised and impressed. And this concert may be postponed by one day depending on the sports event schedule. Okay, that makes sense. Remember, this whole tour itself was scheduled at very last minute, considering how long it usually takes, you know what I'm saying, with all the logistics. But they say, in such a case, updates will be provided via the in-person concert ticketing guide before ticket sales open. Please ensure you check the notice to avoid any confusion regarding the ticketing schedule. And if concert date changes occur, October 31st will be rescheduled to November 1st, and November 1st will be rescheduled to November 2nd. Okay? So if you are interested, please keep this in mind. And it will also be held, so it will be held both in person and online. Details on reserving tickets for the in-person concert and the online live streaming will be announced in a separate notice at a later date. So the chances are, ARMY will be able to watch this encore concert through Weverse Live. This is fantastic. And this allows me to naturally transition into what I'm about to talk about in this video. So I'm going to talk about two members, Jin and RM, primarily in this video, because they had fans emotional and laughing with their Weverse replies recently. Jin specifically teasing about another RUNSEOKJIN concert, and RM talking about BTS long-awaited world tour. Okay, and at the end of this video, we're also gonna discuss the South Korean government launching the Presidential Cultural Exchange Committee because RM sent a congratulatory video message for that event, and President Lee Jae-myung and JYP took a photo at a photo booth with the image of RM. So that was pretty hilarious. So we're gonna talk about all those good stuff in this video. Okay, so let's start here. On September 29th, a fan wrote, "Running 뛰기 딱 좋은 날씨다. 운동 가자." Meaning, it's the perfect weather for a run. Let's go exercise. And I think here, the ARMY like literally meant going for a run, like physical exercise. But then Jin commented, 달려라, with the wave symbols, which is the beginning of the signature the sound or phrase, 달려라 석진, run 석진. So that was a hint, it now turns out. Another comment on ARMY wrote, 뿌앵, 런석진 콘으로 다시 시간 돌려줘. 나 아직 거기 살아. So that was October 29th. Sorry, so this was September 29th, and this was also September 29th. So this translates into, wow, please turn back time to the RUNSEOKJIN concert. You, crying emojis. I'm still living there in that moment. You, to Jin. And then Jin replied, 나오셔야 해요. ... You have to move on. Now, this was funny, given the fact that they just dropped an encore concert, meaning that this particular fan, if they want to, can relive that experience. How about this one? Oh yeah, so this ARMY attached this photo and GIF. Do I have it? 나오셔야 해요. Yeah, there we go. That was cute. Also, how about this one? 진 다시 시작하세요. RUNSEOKJIN concert. Jin, please restart the RUNSEOKJIN concert. And Jin wrote, if I get the chance, I would. You, crying emojis. Now, was he like secretly smiling and laughing while writing this comment? Because there's no way they were able to get the venue and schedule this whole thing within how many days? 29, 30, 4 days, right? So the chances are Jin already knew about the fact that he's gonna do an encore concert, but nevertheless, he decided to write, if I get the chance, I would. So yeah, which makes this announcement all the more special. Now, originally, I was gonna start the video with couple more comments. So another one on September 29th, the same day, around 8:30 p.m. Someone wrote, 석진아, 석진, one of the Run SEOKJIN concert days fell on my birthday. Because you performed on my birthday, I got the biggest gift of the year from you. I love you. Thank you. Let's continue our unfinished story next time too. Run SEOKJIN forever. And to which Jin wrote, 한 번 더 할까요? Shall we do it one more time? Huh. But I'm still like 80% sure that there's no way they were able to pull this off within 4 days though. It's logistically, technically not possible. I don't know, who knows? But anyways, he wrote, 한 번 더 할까요? Shall we do it one more time? To the comments. And after seeing that Jin replied to their own comment, this particular army wrote, 달주인, 석진아 따뜻한 댓글 너무 고마워. 다음 달 석호는 생일날 해보자. 사랑해. 석진, thank you so much for your warm comment. Let's do the next Run SEOKJIN concert on birthdays. I love you. And then one more comment. 지민이가 진 형의 패션 스타일을 따라 입은 것 같아요. 혹시 패션 전수해 주신 것 같나요? 건가요? It looks like Jimin copied Jin Hyung's fashion style. Did you perhaps pass on your fashion sense to him? And Jin replied, really? Is that so? And yeah, they're talking about this fashion. Fashion show event fashion. Jin, white shirt with buttons unbuttoned, like 2 or 3 buttons unbuttoned. And below it, this is what Jimin wore to the airport, Incheon airport, which wowed a lot of fans. Now, originally, so that was that. That was a cute interaction. Originally, I was going to start this video with this long letter, fan letter written by an army named 석진이 따랑해. I love you, 석진. Meant to be said in a cute way. And let me translate this letter, to which Jin replied in a very thoughtful way. Okay? Starting. To my beloved Seokjin oppa. It's already been 8 years since I first became your fan. At first, I just thought of you as someone handsome and funny, but as time went on, I came to see the sincerity and dedication behind it all. Even after 13 years since debut, you've never been caught up in scandals and always stayed true to your role as an idol, keeping your focus on the fans. That's something truly amazing and admirable. You've always been, and here, 구설수, they use the word 구설수, so it could be translated as scandal, but I would actually use the word controversies. And they said, you've always been the kind of person who puts our happiness first. For me, your happiness comes before anything else. When something good happens, I want to celebrate with you. And when something sad happens, I want to share in that sadness too. The Run SEOKJIN concert in Goyang was my very first concert at 20 years old, and seeing how much you love being on stage filled me with so much emotion and joy. I also admire how you always take such good care of yourself to show us your very best. I can feel that you put your whole heart into being an idol. I know there must have been tough times, but you always stood by us with a smile, and I'm so grateful for that. Thanks to you, I was able to get through each day and find reasons to smile again. To me, you're not just an idol. You have shown me how living with sincerity, warmth, and responsibility can shine so brightly. From now on, I will continue to respect and support you no matter what. Every moment of yours has been brilliant. It still is now, and it always will be. Thank you always, and I love you so much. Purple Heart. And Jin replied. And I appreciate the fact that this letter was written in a very polite Korean language, ending with yo. And it probably touched Jin's heart, because he replied, 뭐랄까, 열심히 해야 할 것 같은 글이네요. 감동입니다. 더 열심히 할게요. 저도 우리 아미 존경해요. So he wrote, how should I put it? This is the kind of message that makes me feel like I need to work even harder. It's really touching. I'll give my best. I respect ARMY too. Yeah, so I noticed that he used the word 존경해요. I respect ARMY. I love that. And then after seeing Jin's reply, they wrote, 와, 이게 뭐야? 진짜 오빠가 읽을 줄 몰랐는데 읽어주셔서 감사해요. Wow, I really didn't expect you, 오빠, to actually read this. Thank you so much for reading. Your songs have comforted me countless times. You are the first and last idol I will ever love. Super touching. I'm pretty sure a lot of you might relate to this letter written by this fan. So thanks for the letter. Beautifully written. Now, so that was Jin. Is this also? Okay. So again, super glad that they decided to do an encore concert and they were able to manage to get this venue for this wonderful, groundbreaking concert to be happening on either on October 31st or November 1st. Okay, so November 1st is confirmed. So it's either going to be October 31st or November 2nd, depending on the schedule. Okay, I'm super excited. Maybe BTS members will show up once again. Who knows? The dates are kind of interesting. October 31st and November 1st. Anyways, so that was Jin. So in the second half of the video, we're going to talk about RM. Because he wrote like more than 10 replies to fan posts on Weverse lately. So let's start with this one. Written in Japanese, they wrote something like RM. I guess they were addressing both RM and V. Good morning, Nam-san. Welcome back. Thanks for sharing such great shows and your photos with amazing people in Milan. The shot with actress Uma Thurman, gorgeous. Kill Bill, her famous movie. I respect you for standing tall with confidence wherever you go, not just on the outside. You have intellect and class, and that's so cool. Okay? And then RM wrote, wait. I thought, oh, he wrote a simple emoji. I forgot to include that. Hold up. Kind of curious how he replied. Didn't he reply something? Oh, right here. Cute emoji. That's what he wrote. The last time he replied to comments was back in March. Yeah, so I especially noted that. Alright, so the next one was this. Someone wrote, 괜찮아요. 저도 달리는 건 싫어요. 수영이 더 좋아요. It's okay. I don't like running either. I prefer swimming. RM wrote, swim, swim. Someone else wrote, 남준아, I can't steal, or you can't steal her nickname. She will always be our princess. 그녀는 언제나 우리의 공주일 거야. Now, if you do not know the context, this is a mysterious sentence that does not make sense. And of course, RM wrote, eh? Yeah? Huh? Then someone else tried to help out. She's talking about Jin, the fight for the tiara. And yeah, chances are they're referring to this case back on September 15th. That was funny. We already talked about that on our channel, right? Now, how about this comment? Namjoon, will you guys visit Scotland? To which Namjoon wrote, I want whiskey tour so bad. So half serious, half joking, he ties the idea of Scotland to whiskey culture, casual longing, I would interpret as. What you doing, Namjoon? He wrote, going home after workout. How about this? Namjoon 아저씨, I want a labubu, please. First of all, labubu is a cute doll that has been super popular nowadays. It's a line of collectible plush toys created by Hong Kong illustrator Kasing Long. And yes, it has been super popular, but here the emphasis is on the word 아저씨 because Namjoon wrote 아저씨 out of disbelief that they used the word 아저씨 to describe him or refer to him. And then he added 아저씨긴 해, which means like, well, I guess I'm an 아저씨. Like, and 아저씨 in Korean word means like uncle or middle-aged man. So it's a playful denial and denial/admission. So he's teasing that he doesn't want to be called old by questioning back 아저씨, but then yeah, he admits 아저씨긴 해. Now I'm old. Old enough. And then someone wrote, Hey 남준이, what motivate you the most? 남준 wrote, your existence. So, quite philosophical. He's saying that army motivates him. Emotional and direct. How about this? 남준이 거기서 뭘 하고 있는 거야? 남준, what are you doing there? He wrote, 숨 쉬는 중. Breathing. So it's pretty funny. Minimalist answer. And someone wrote, Today's my birthday, and I sincerely want to be blessed by BTS. I love you. And then RM wrote, 생일 축하해요. So he deliberately mistyped 축하해요 into 축하해요 to sound otherwise cute. So happy birthday. And then after seeing the reply, they said, Oh my, this is the best day of my life. 오빠, 저 11년생이에요, 사실. So they wrote, 오빠, I was born in 2011, actually. And RM wrote, 아빠라고 하자. Let's just say I'm your dad. So it's a cheeky response to a very young fan. So light teasing, but also gently acknowledging the age gap. 2011, so how old are they? 2025, 14? 15? Super young. 남준이, weight loss recipe, please. To which RM wrote, food is everything. So it's basically brushing off the idea of dieting strictly, implying food should be enjoyed and is essential. So philosophical humor. Someone wrote, I ate pizza today. 나는 오늘 피자를 먹었다. 남준 wrote, 나는 너가 제일 부럽다. I'm the most jealous of you. And they attached this photo of pizza that I'm assuming they had that day. 남준, 요즘 재미있는 거 보고 있어요? 남준, are you watching anything fun these days? RM wrote, do you know 괴수 8호? It's a Japanese anime. It's basically recommending anime, manga, right? Showing his nerdy side. So, I've honestly never heard of this one, 괴수 8호. And I guess just began... Wait. This might not be... Oh, it is Japanese. Actually, yeah. First published in 2020. I guess it's pretty popular. Anyways, that's what he has been watching lately. And then, someone wrote, 남준아, do you know about this? And RM replied, oh my god, is this 합성? Oh my god, is this photoshopped? And yes, the photo that they attached is this one. The president of South Korea and JYP posing with the image of RM at the photo booth. So let's talk about this at the end of this video after going through the rest of the comments that he wrote. Someone wrote, RM-san, what's your workout routine in Japanese? And RM wrote, running 가 베스트도다요. Running is the best. So he tried to make it sound like he's speaking in Japanese. Someone wrote, 남준, did you eat dinner? I'm eating salad right now. And he replied, 점액추. So 점액추 means dinner recommendations or dinner ranks. So he's basically jokingly flipping the question back. Instead of answering if he ate, he's asking fans for dinner suggestions. 저녁 메뉴 추천. 저녁 dinner menu 추천 recommendation. So it's like an acronym. 영원은 무엇인가요? Philosophical question. What is eternity? And 남준 wrote, 영원은 찰나 속에 있지요. Eternity exists within a moment. So yeah, it's a philosophical Buddhist-like response. Very 남준-like. He's saying eternity is felt in fleeting instants. 남준이, what's your favorite recently watched movie? I want to know your recommendations. 남준 wrote, new PTA movie is coming. So it's probably dropping that Thomas Anderson, PTA, has a new film coming. So that's basically his recommendation. One battle after another. I think this is the one. When are they releasing this? Oh, wow. Rotten Tomatoes, 96%. September 26th, already released in the States. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Super cool. All right, another comment. 남준 형, please make a TikTok for killing a girl. 남준 said, 긍정적으로 검토해봄. I'll consider it positively. A lot of fans have imagined RM dancing to that track, right? Killing a girl. Will youth ever come back? Namjoon wrote, that boy is always in my mind. Now, at first, I wasn't able to understand what they were talking about, but I think it's rather a poetic question and poetic response. Maybe youth here is like a theme or song era. So it isn't, youth by itself isn't literally coming back, but it lives on in his heart. So it's kind of a nostalgic tone. Also describing it as that boy. Namjoon, I watched this on weekend. OMG, I can't believe you reply. And with a photo of this one attached. 2017 BTS Live Trilogy Episode 3, The Wings Tour, the final remastered. And the RM wrote, thank you. Namjoon, I love you so much. Ang. So Ang is supposed to be Korean, like Ang. So it's a cute, affectionate sound, showing his touch, almost like oh. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Can I get an answer from you, Junie? So this was the last reply. RM wrote, 님들아, 내년 투어 기대해줘. Guys, look forward to the tour next year. Our tour next year. 우리 열심히 할게. 유유, 7년만. We'll work hard. Crying emojis after 7 years. Now, this could be interpreted wrongly if you are not careful. So if you take it out of context, some fans might worry that he meant we will work hard for only 7 years. 7년만. But in Korean, the nuance is very different because 7년만 here doesn't mean for 7 years, but it means after 7 years for the first time. I'm like 90% sure. So he's pointing out that it's been 7 years since BTS last had a world tour, and now they are preparing another one. So basically what he means here is, guys, please look forward to our tour next year. It's been 7 years since the last one, and we will work hard for it. And indeed, it was back in 2019 when BTS wrapped up their Love Yourself, Speak Yourself, the final world tour in Seoul. Of course, they had another full group concert yet to come in Busan later on, but this was the finale of their like full-scale world tour, right? So if you remember, BTS closed out their Love Yourself tour at Seoul Olympic Stadium on October 29th, 2019, marking the end of a 1 year, 2-month journey. 1 year, 2 months, so that's 14 months. And the tour spanned 13 countries, 23 cities, and 62 performances, reaching over 2.06 million fans worldwide. It began in August 2018 in Seoul and circled back to Seoul in late 2019, creating a full circle narrative. And along the way, BTS achieved multiple historic firsts for Korean artists, like first Korean group to headline and sell out major stadiums like Wembley in London, and stayed France in Paris, and first Korean group to hold a solo stadium concert in Saudi Arabia, and performed at iconic venues previously graced by legends like the Beatles, Michael Jackson, and Queen. And the set list featured both group hits and solo stages, highlighting each member's artistry. And the finale concert emphasized really family-like reunion with Korean ARMY, featuring moments of emotion, tears, and fan-led events. And members expressed gratitude, with RM saying he hoped BTS lyrics would help fans learn to love themselves, and Jungkook promising, with the wings you have given us, we will fly to you this time. And the concert ended with Microcosmos Soju, accompanied by a light show of 300 drones painting the night sky in purple. So indeed, and I'm sure the members cannot wait to perform again as part of the world tour, meeting thousands of fans worldwide. In fact, millions of fans. So beautiful. Yeah, here's statistics. for 1 year, 2 months, 13 countries, 23 cities, 62 shows, and met 2.06 million fans. Now, last but not least, let's talk about this. So indeed, on October 1st, 2005, South Korea launched the Presidential Cultural Exchange Committee, 대중문화교류위원회, co-chaired by JYP, to support the global growth of K-culture. And at the ceremony, President Lee Jae-myung and JY posed for instant photo booth pictures with BTS RM digitally included. And there were articles about it too. And the photo was taken using Photoism, which is a super trendy Korean photo booth service where you can snap like strip style pictures with fun edits and overlays. And yeah, it is quite popular with K-pop fans, especially, who often go to Photoism booths to take theme photos with their bias. Okay, and usually, when you step inside, you take 4-cut style photos, neck cut, and the machine prints them instantly. And it's a photo booth brand, Photoism. So think of it as a modern, stylish upgrade of old school, mall photo booths, but with K-pop themes usually, or AR overlays and digital edits. Okay, and when the pictures were released on the president's social media, indeed, President Lee Jae-myung himself shared these photos and footage on his social media. And when one of the fans shared that on social, on Weverse, RM was like, where is it? Oh my god, is this 합성? Is this photoshopped? Yeah, there you go. Oh my god, is this edited or photoshopped? Now, RM, like I mentioned, congratulated the official launch of the President Culture Exchange Committee, calling it an honor to be part of its first step. I'm not sure if you have watched this. And let me briefly comment on the fact that out of all the celebrities who sent video messages, he sounded most natural and unscripted, even though he probably scripted the message and memorized or read. And that's because he has been genuine about this particular message that he's sending. So let's briefly read what he just said in the video. He said, "Hello, this is RM of BTS. I sincerely congratulate the launch of the Culture Exchange Committee. It's a great honor for me to be able to leave this message and take part in this first step. As the committee sets out to view the cultural industry as a core growth engine for Korea's future and to open up new possibilities. I believe that many moments when BTS, along with K-pop, K-dramas, K-movies, and countless other cultural contents, have connected with fans around the world and received their love, have never been the result of just one or two individuals. These moments were made possible because of the passion and hard work of so many people, often behind the scenes. I trust that through the strategies the committee will establish and the effective systems it will implement, we'll be able to design a strong vision for the future of our cultural industry, improve the quality of content, and build the infrastructure to share it with even more people. Furthermore, I hope this will provide a foundation where creators and industry professionals can pursue their dreams more freely in a better environment. With the limitless power of Korean culture, I look forward to this committee bringing new hope to Korea, and I will continue to support it from where I am. Thank you." So, yeah, I thought that was a fantastic message, and the way he delivered that was great. So he basically said that the global success of K-pop, K-dramas, and K-movies is not the achievement of a few stars, but the result of countless people's hard work behind the scenes, right? And the committee should focus on building, stronger infrastructure to improve content quality and expand its reach worldwide. Fingers crossed. And he said creators and industry professionals deserve an environment where they can freely pursue their dreams. And Korean culture has limitless potential to bring new hope to the nation's future. And what's interesting is that this message isn't new for RM. because he's been speaking this way for years. Back in 2019, and I made a video about this vote at the time, and I will play you this. So back in 2019, when BTS received a major cultural award, he delivered a speech that already showed the same perspective. He quoted Kim Gu, who once said that the only thing that he wished for was the power of high culture. And RM explained that culture, Kim Gu is one of the people who fought for Korea's independence. And RM explained that culture is more powerful than any physical force because it can break boundaries and reshape how people live and connect. And he reminded the audience that BTS wasn't alone in that moment, but supported by staff, cultural workers, and fans who sustained the industry. And even then, he framed the award not just as recognition for BTS, but as encouragement to spread Korean culture strength to the world with humility and effort. So it's basically the embodiment of the values that this committee is trying to promote. And since it's super connected, let me briefly 3 years ago that RM said we wanted to win in the concert awards. 3 years ago, we said we wanted to win in the concert category. And now, to be standing here with the grand prize, of course, I want to thank our army first and foremost for making that possible. Honestly, I wasn't expecting to win tonight, so I briefly thought about what I might say just in case. This kind of culture award ceremony feels both new and refreshing to us. And being here, surrounded by so many people working in the cultural field, it reminded me of a particular quote. Kim Gu once said, "The one thing I desperately desire is the power of high culture." I truly believe that culture is the strongest kind of intangible power, stronger than any physical force, because it has the ability to break down all boundaries. Not just the music I work in, but also traditional Korean music, musicals, dramas, theater, dance. As a fan and consumer of all these forms of culture, and as someone who breathes it in every day, I believe culture is what helps us become more human. It gives me inspiration, influences the music I make, and it reminds me of what it means to be human and to stay human. So even though it's just us on the stage right now, I hope we all remember the many staff members who help our artists behind the scenes, and above all, the fans and supporters who love and consume this culture. I honestly don't know if we deserve this award, standing among so many accomplished cultural figures. But I take this as a message to keep working hard, to share the power of Korean culture with even more people around the world. We will stay humble, stay grounded, and keep striving to be a better BTS. Thank you. And here is Kim Gu. True that. You know what I'm saying? That was back in 2019. And everything he said a few years ago still rings true, especially in the context of this committee that the Korean government recently launched. And so when you put his 2019 words next to his 2025 message, the consistency is super striking. In both, RM stresses that culture is a collective achievement, not the work of a few individuals, and he sees it as an invisible, but transformative force that transcends borders and must be handled with responsibility. The difference is that in 2019, he was speaking as an artist receiving an honor, while in 2025, he's speaking almost like a cultural ambassador alongside the industry leaders. But the philosophy remains the same. Now, lastly, before I wrap, so when the Presidential Committee on Popular Culture Exchange was launched, many people immediately probably noticed that BTS didn't perform, right? Instead, the stage was given to Stray Kids and SSERAFIM. And now, here's what I think. Given BTS' symbolic role in Korea's cultural influence, it's almost unthinkable that the government wouldn't have at least asked HYBE or Big Hit or BTS themselves if BTS could appear. Of course, they have probably, if that's so, they've reached out to the agency because they're the agency. Because BTS is essentially the face of K-pop, and their presence would have carried huge weight. So the more reasonable assumption is that the government did reach out, but BTS declined. And, I'm not the kind to, speculate. But in this case, I'm quite positive that that's what probably happened. And that's where this becomes interesting, assuming that's the case. Because the fact that BTS probably said no, and the fact that the government respected that, tells us a lot about the group's standing. Because normally, when a state-level cultural committee is launched, the government would expect the country's top cultural ambassadors to be there. Yet in this case, BTS was able to prioritize their own timing and intentions, and the government accepted it. And that shows, I think, just how much autonomy and authority BTS commands, even in a national context. Now, why would BTS decline? That's an interesting question, and here's what I think. The reasoning is actually pretty straightforward if you think about it, because this would have been their first performance as a full group after all members completed military service. And that kind of moment isn't something they would want tied to like politics or official ceremonies, government related. They would want it to be for ARMY, their fans, as a gift, not as a government showcase. Plus, they're still preparing a new album, right? Which makes it all the more important that, their, how should I say, official comeback stage be on their own terms. You know what I'm saying? And also, the actual performers, SSERAFIM, Stray Kids and SSERAFIM, it makes sense when you consider the context, because the co-chair of the committee is HYBE, Park Jin-young. And so Stray Kids, as HYBE's flagship boy group, naturally took the stage. On HYBE's side, SSERAFIM represented the girl group, right? Girl group presence. And they killed it. I might make a separate video about that. And interestingly, both groups have stronger global followings than domestic ones, which itself kind of reflects the international orientation of K-pop today. And in the end, I think this situation illustrates two key points. First, BTS position is so elevated that even the Korean government has to respect their decision not to appear, which shows the group's unmatched autonomy. And second, the groups that did perform highlight how, global market strategy and industry and, politics could potentially intersect in K-pop. Because Stray Kids and SSERAFIM weren't just random picks. I think they symbolize the industry's broader global push. And yeah, that's how I interpret it. So while BTS was absent, their absence spoke volumes because it reinforced their status and hinted at the careful way they're preparing for their return, and showed how other groups are stepping into high-profile roles in the meantime. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I'm excited about the initiative, although I'm cautiously optimistic. You know what I'm saying? So fingers crossed that they will end up producing great results. But anyways, that was that. Felt like I've talked about a lot of stuff, even though we primarily talked about RM and Jin. Okay? Now back to how the video started. I'm excited about the encore concert, and yeah. Good luck and have fun if you are attending. All right? Let's stay positive, respectful, and classy, and feel free to leave your comments. See you later. Peace and love. Bye-bye.